Hello, welcome to English Lessons with inlingua Vancouver. My name is Jacob, and today I would like to discuss two English modals with you, must and have to. Now, some teachers might have told you in the past that there is not much of a difference between them or not to worry about them too much. And to be honest, at lower levels, my suggestion is not to worry about them too much. But as you get more advanced, you do need to think about this distinction. And if you thought about it more carefully, for example, if you look at the negative versions of these two modals, you can clearly see that they are distinct. If I say you don't have to do this, it is not the same as saying you must not do this, right? When I say you do not have to do something, that means there is no obligation. You are not obligated to do that. You get to choose whether you like to do that or not, whatever the action may be. You don't have to watch this video. You choose to watch this video, right? But let's say your teacher thinks that I'm going to confuse you, so he says, you must not watch this video. That means they believe that somehow this video is universally bad, and they're telling you not to watch it. It's going to hurt you somehow. And that's why they're using must so strongly. But that means that you are not to watch the video. You cannot watch the video. Whereas when they say you don't have to watch it, the choice is yours. And that should make it abundantly clear to you that must is a necessity. Necessity according to some conception about the reality of the world, about the objective truth about things. And that is why you don't hear it as much anymore. Because today is in the world of epistemic modesty. We don't make absolute claims about the truth anymore. So more and more, it's more common to just talk about what obligations we have to others. And that is the source of normativity. Obligations to society, obligations to governments, obligations to parents, right? So you see obligation to others is have to. So for example, I must quit smoking because I know it's bad for my health. It's just the right thing to do. That's about the truth. I have to quit smoking because if I don't, my girlfriend will leave me. Then I'm not quitting smoking because I believe it's the right thing to do. I'm just doing it because I feel obligated to my girlfriend, right? I have to quit smoking. Otherwise, I cannot get this new job. I must quit smoking because what am I doing to my body? You see the distinction, right? Another good example would be, I have to do my homework or I will fail the class, or the teacher will kick me out of the class. I have to do it because it's expected of me. I must study more because that's just a good student would do. It's the truth about the matter. No one is telling me to study more. I just feel I must study more. So another way to think about it, to keep out all this philosophical jargon and keep it simple, if it comes from the inside, if it comes from your heart, I must. If it comes from the outside, it's an obligation to others. I have to. And of course, there is no clear difference in strength. You cannot say one is stronger than the other because that depends on your personality. If you're a rebel, you might not even believe there is such a thing as have to. You don't believe in obligations to others. You only believe in what comes from your heart. That's a minority of people, but there are some of us out there who don't believe in authority and normativity. They call us radicals or anarchists. On the other hand, there are those who only respond to authority and never really think about the truth. For such people, then of course, have to is much stronger because obligation to others. And such people probably would never use must because they don't really care about what is the objective truth, right? Now, this is a very broad way of speaking about it, so I'm going to explain this with more specific examples. So we can see that really it's not a question of strength. It depends on your personality. And as I explained earlier, more and more people tend to use have to. And when they emphasize, they just say have got to. I have got to go there. Otherwise, I will be fired. I have got to be there, or my mother will be disappointed. Oftentimes, there is an implied obligation to someone else. And more, people just say, got it. I got to go. I got to do this. I got to do that. And once you get to spoken English and you're at a level of got it, then it really doesn't matter. Is it necessity? Is it obligation? That means I need to do something. Do I need to do it because my heart says so? Must? Do I need to do it because society or others expect me to? Have to? I don't really care. I just gotta do this. I gotta go. And I gotta be faster with this video. Now, to make this more clear, I'm gonna explain these more individually. So first, we're gonna talk about must. Now, first, I would like to talk to you about what I call the universal truth, or claims about the universal truth. Must is very strong because it's an individual or a subject's claim about what he or she believes is the truth about the world. We must help the children. That sentence means it's a human duty. That, we must go out there and help the poor children, the weak children, the needy. People often don't talk like that anymore because in the scientific world, we don't really know what is objective truths. So more and more people stay away from the word must. But as you can imagine, if you're a religious person or you believe in objective truths, you believe in one absolute truth in the universe, then there's many things you strongly believe in, and then you tend to say, this must be this way or that must be that way. But if you think about everyday English, very few people think about those things or talk about those things. So more and more, must is actually used in a very simple daily exchange where we're trying to guess things about each other. Inferences. For example, I've been teaching all day and now I'm making this video. My friend says, oh, Jacob, you must be tired. Here they're making an inference about the fact that I'm tired. They observe that I sound tired. They observe that I've been working a long day. Therefore, they come to a conclusion. They induce. They make an inference. You must be tired, right? Your friend tells you they've just been accepted to a great university. Oh, you must be excited, you say, right? Your friend tells you that his girlfriend or boyfriend has cheated on him. You say, oh, you must be devastated. So whenever we guess things about people, we often use the word must. So that's a common use for it. And this is not really about necessity or obligation. It's just an inference. Another common way to use the word must is for polite insistence, right? For example, you must come over for dinner. It's not an absolute truth about the universe that someone must have dinner with you. It's just a nice way to insist that they come and have dinner with you. So polite insistence is actually a much more common way to use the word must than the traditional necessity or obligation. So things like, you must stay a bit more, you must have another drink, and just kind of insisting things politely. But I do want to remind you that when it comes to inference and polite insistence, you never use the negative form. You only use it in positive forms. You insist things or you infer things, right? If you want to infer negative things, then you would use couldn't, right? You would say things like, you've been sleeping all day. You couldn't be tired. So these are all idiomatic in a sense. These are not the original uses of these words. However, these are the most common ways we use the word must today. But still, sometimes we do use the word must to talk about necessity, universal necessity, regardless of authority or what people think, but what an individual, a subjective perspective, thinks the objective truth of the universe is. Here's another example. The global community must seriously consider the impact of human activity on nature. That is a claim I'm making that I think as a species, we should all be concerned about what we are doing to our planet. And there you can see that this is my claim about the truth. This is a subjective conception of the truth. And that is why I'm using the word must, right? But more and more people don't speak in that way because most people in a secular society have modest claims about knowledge. So we don't make radical statements like, you must do this for the sake of humanity. More and more, the language is reserved for ideologues or religiously motivated people. And more for everyday English, we just use must for inference and insistence. So now that I've explained must and the more common usages for it today, which is more and more inference, kind of guessing what's going on, and also insisting politely, we come to have to. And yes, have to is used much more often because most of the time we are talking about our obligation to other people, what we have to do for school, what we have to do for work, what we have to do for the sake of our families, but we have to do for the sake of all the people that matter to us. So we have to do X, we have to do Y, and as I mentioned earlier, if you want to emphasize, I have got to. If I want to be quick, I gotta. And at the end of the day, if you're talking about gotta, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, there is no big difference in everyday English. I hope you found this video helpful. Please leave comments below or any questions you may have. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as there will be more of these videos to come. Have a great day.